Imagine waking up one morning in a room that feels like it's closing in on you, walls painted with shadows of your past mistakes. That was me, trapped in addiction, every breath heavy with regret. But here's what nobody tells you. The hardest battle isn't just quitting, it's finding your way back to yourself. I remember the nights when the darkness whispered that I was lost beyond repair. My hands trembled, not just from withdrawal, but from the fear of facing a world I thought I'd burned bridges with forever. The obstacles, they weren't just chemical cravings. They were the shattered trust of loved ones, the echo of my own self-loathing, and the gnawing question, who am I without the escape? So how did I start to climb out? It wasn't a sudden burst of willpower. It was tiny, deliberate steps. First, I wrote a letter to my future self. No judgment, no demands, just honesty. I told myself, I see you struggling, and I'm here to help. That letter became my anchor on the worst days. Next, I created a map of moments, a journal filled with snapshots of progress, not just milestones like a week clean, but small victories, choosing water over a drink, answering a call from a friend instead of hiding, or simply breathing through panic. These moments, like stars in a dark sky, guided me toward healing. I sought out others who had walked this path, not to mimic their story, but to learn how they navigated their storms. I discovered that vulnerability is strength. Sharing my scars didn't make me weak, it built bridges. Together, we formed a community where mistakes were stepping stones, not dead ends. One unique strategy I embraced was transforming my triggers into tools. Instead of avoiding places or people that stirred cravings, I faced them with new rituals. At the park bench where I once used, I now sat to meditate, grounding myself in the present. The same street that echoed past failures became the route of my morning runs, a testament to reclaiming space. The transformation wasn't just external, it rewired my inner landscape. I replaced harsh self-talk with curiosity, asking, what is this feeling trying to tell me, rather than silencing it? This shift opened doors to self-compassion I hadn't known existed. Today, I help others piece together their own maps. I listen, not to fix, but to understand. Because healing isn't a one-size-fits-all journey. It's a mosaic of moments, choices, and courage. If you're watching this, know that your path is waiting for you to take the first step. Start by writing your own letter, capturing your truth. Celebrate the small victories. They're far more powerful than they seem. Reach out, build your community, and meet your triggers with new intentions. Remember, the journey isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Each day, you choose to move forward, you're redefining your story. The walls that once closed in can become the foundation you stand on. Your healing is not just possible, it's already beginning with the courage you have right now. But let me take you deeper into what that journey looks like, because recovery is not a straight line. It's a winding road, full of unexpected turns and moments where you might feel like you're moving backward. And that's okay. It's part of the process. There were days when I woke up and felt the weight of the world pressing down harder than before. The cravings would surge like a tidal wave, threatening to pull me under. In those moments, I learned to pause. I reminded myself that feelings are temporary. They come and go, like clouds passing across the sky. This simple awareness helped me ride out the storm without losing myself. I also learned the power of rituals, small, consistent actions that create a sense of stability. Every morning I made my bed, a simple act that symbolized order amidst chaos. I started my day with a glass of water and a moment of gratitude, focusing on what was good rather than what was missing. These rituals anchored me, giving me a foothold when everything else felt shaky. Healing also meant forgiving myself. I had carried so much guilt and shame, believing I was defined by my mistakes. But forgiveness opened a door to freedom. It didn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It meant accepting my humanity and allowing myself to move forward without the burden of endless self-punishment. Another crucial part of my journey was learning to ask for help. For so long, I thought I had to do it alone, that needing support was a sign of weakness. But reaching out to a counselor, a support group, or a trusted friend became a lifeline. Vulnerability connected me to others and reminded me that I was not alone. I also embraced creativity as a form of expression and healing. Writing, painting, even simple doodling became ways to process my emotions and tell my story without judgment. Creativity allowed me to tap into parts of myself that words alone couldn't reach. Physical health played a role too. Addiction often takes a toll on the body, and caring for mine became an act of reclaiming my worth. I started with gentle walks, feeling the sun on my face and the earth beneath my feet. Gradually, I built strength and endurance, celebrating each step as a victory. Mindfulness became a cornerstone of my recovery, learning to be present, to observe my thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them, created space for healing. Meditation, deep breathing, and mindful movement helped me calm the chaos inside. I also explored spirituality, not in a religious sense necessarily, but as a connection to something greater than myself. This connection gave me perspective and hope, reminding me that my life mattered and that I was part of a larger story. As I rebuilt relationships, I practiced honesty and patience. Trust doesn't return overnight. It's earned through consistent actions and openness. I learned to listen deeply and to express my feelings without blame or defensiveness. These efforts nurtured bonds that had been strained or broken. One of the most profound lessons was embracing impermanence. I accepted that pain, struggle, and even joy are all temporary. This understanding helped me appreciate the good moments fully and endure the hard ones with grace. In sharing my story, I found purpose. Helping others navigate their own paths brought meaning to my experience. It reminded me that our struggles can become sources of strength, not just for ourselves, but for those we reach. Recovery is not about becoming perfect or erasing the past. It's about growing into a fuller, more compassionate version of yourself. It's about learning to live with the shadows and the light, holding both with kindness. So if you're feeling trapped today, remember, you are not alone, and your story is still unfolding. Take that first step, however small. Write your letter, reach out, celebrate your victories, face your triggers with courage. Your journey is unique, and it's worth walking. The foundation you build now will support you through whatever comes next. Healing is possible, and it starts with the courage you're showing simply by being here, listening, and choosing to move forward.